Welcome to another payment gateway integration video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to implement tap payments, payment gateway integration on your checkout page. Tap payments is pretty popular over here in GCC, in UAE, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and they support most of the popular local methods here in GCC, like STC Pay in Saudi, Benefit in Bahrain, Knet, Tabi, Tamara, and so on. These guys offer a solution called WebCard SDK v2. It's a form that looks like this, and I'm going to show you how to add this form over here into your checkout page like this. This here is a demo of the end result of what we're trying to implement. Grab a test card, put it here, and you hit pay. It loads. Eventually it's gonna redirect to the 3DS page. This is the 3DS page simulator. Obviously, if you've seen my MPGS video, my MasterCard Gateway video, this is their simulator. So it looks like here that they're using MPGS MasterCard Gateway simulator in the background for their test credentials. You hit submit, authentication is done, and then it's gonna redirect back to your result page. Your result page is going to query the Tap API for the payment result, and then it gets the payment result, and then you can display it to your customer on your checkout page like this. Pretty straightforward implementation. Let's go ahead and implement it, starting with a brand new project. Okay, here's a brand new web app for my merchant page. This is my cart items. This is my total. Let me just fix the currency here. It says Saudi Riyal and here it says AED. I'm gonna display the form over here, and I'm gonna make my pay button trigger that form to collect the payment information. So to do that, let's go to the integration guide for WebCard SDK. This is it. Here it's gonna tell you the first step will be to import this library. To do that, just copy this, go back to your React project, go to public, index.html, and add this here. Very simple. Then you need to add the placeholder for the card form itself. So you just copy this, go to your project, and you want to place it right above the pay button over here. So I'm going to place it here, and I'm going to fix my styling to make sure that they're on top of each other. Cool. Now nothing is rendering because we need to call the JavaScript library for Tap that's going to load that form over here. So you want to scroll down to the next step, configure the card SDK. Here it's going to give you a list of all the optional and the non-optional fields. And if you scroll down over here, there will be an example. But if you scroll down here, you're going to have examples for the callbacks too. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this and use it in my code. So I'll just do that like this. I'm gonna copy all of this, go over here, and here I'm gonna create a use effect method in my code, and I'm gonna put that inside it. Okay, so when you paste that here, you need to add your credentials, your merchant ID and your public key. Now, while Tap offers test keys that you can use over here, I tried those and you can't do a full end-to-end payment using them. The payment ends up getting timed out whenever you try creating a payment using these credentials. But you can go ahead and sign up for a Tap account to get your own sandbox credential, which is what I did. If you want to sign up, you just simply go to their website, hit get started, and you're gonna get a questionnaire that asks about your business, your email, your contact information, and all. So go through that, and then you're gonna get access to their portal, which looks like this. This is their portal. So to find your API credentials, you go to Go Sale, and then you go to API credentials, and then your API credentials are gonna be right here. I'm masking it because there are production credentials here that I wanna hide. Okay, but once you got that, go ahead and plug in your credentials. This is my public key, and this is my merchant ID. Now let's go clean up the rest over here. So I'm gonna use AED currency, and I'm gonna use my total that I'm calculating in my own code. all this customer info object is optional. So I'm just gonna get rid of all of that. And here you can set whether or not you want to require the cardholder name. I'm gonna set it, keep it at true. And then there are other options here to control the style. You can keep that. But I'm gonna need to add my callbacks. So to do that, you wanna go to the guide here again, and you're gonna find your callbacks right here. You could just take this, copy it, go back, and add a comma at the end of your JSON and just paste that right under it, and this is going to be your callbacks. Save, and your page should now show the form. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add a little space between the form and my pay button so that it looks nice. There you go, much nicer now. Looks like Amex is not enabled for my account, so I'm going to remove that. And MUDA won't show up unless we're paying with Saudi Riyal currency, because it's a Saudi Arabian card method. So if I switch to MUDA, now you see only MUDA. I'm gonna keep it for UAE, so just AED, MasterCard, Visa. Okay, now how do we use this? After you enter the card number and you hit pay, pay needs to call this method, this one, window card SDK tokenize. So copy that, and we'll put it here in send payment instead of the other stuff. Get rid of the rest of the code that serves as placeholders. Save. Now, when you hit this and everything is okay, this on success over here is gonna get called, and we're gonna make it just print out the token that we're gonna then pass to our server to complete the payment. Now let's go ahead and try this out. I wanna show you what that token looks like when you get it printed out. Grab your test cards. I'll grab a MasterCard test card with 3DS enabled. Put it here, 01, 39, 100, and the cardholder name, pay. And you see it stopped spinning. That means that the token is generated. This is similar to checkout.com frame solution flow. I just have a lot of logs here for my spinner and other stuff. I just gotta find the log that prints out the token. So now the next step will be to grab this, copy the token, and then you'll use a method called an API call called create a charge. You'll put that token here, and that's how you can perform the payment and 3DS as well, 3DS authentication. So I have it here in my Postman. This is the charge API, this is what it looks like. In here, you need to set your amount, your currency, and you want to enforce 3D secure by setting this to true. And if you want to save the card, you will set this save card to true, but I'm going to skip that for now. And you want to set this auto type to capture so that you can capture the payment right away instead of just authorizing and then capturing it later. A bunch of other optional fields, and then there's your order ID, and then there's the receipt option. I'm going to set both of these to false. I don't need them. And then you gotta here in this API, unlike the JavaScript SDK, you gotta add some information about the customer. At the very minimum, their name and email. Now here at source ID is where you put your token. So you put it here, save it, and then you send this API call, and this is the response that you're gonna get. It's gonna say create, initiated, and then it's gonna give you a link where you're gonna redirect the customer to for them to complete their 3DS authentication, which this is what it does. Same as what I showed later. And then when they hit submit and they finish the authentication, 3DS authentication, they're gonna get redirected back to the result URL that you set in here. I set localhost as the result URL. So right now it redirects me back to my localhost page, my result page, but nothing shows up. There's no order ID here because I haven't set this page to check the payment result and then show it on the screen yet. I'm gonna do that in a later part of the video. But now the obvious next step is to implement this API call over here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now here is where I'm gonna go ahead and implement that create charge API. So to do that, first, let me just wrap this in course. This will just allow me to test this in localhost in my development environment without having any course issues. And now we go to Postman. Here on Postman, on the right side, there is a code symbol. Click on it and you'll get a a ready-to-use sample for this API call. So just copy that, go back to your code, paste it here. And from your client side, you need to collect the following: the amount, currency, and the token ID that you generated from your client side SDK. And then you're going to need to generate a random order ID for the reference number for this transaction. There you go. And one more thing, we need to authorize this API call. So here it's going to be bearer as your authorization header, space, and then your secret key. There you go. Okay, now let's go ahead and test in the emulator to make sure we haven't missed anything. Here, I grabbed the new token ID from my client side, and then here, my request, I'm gonna send the amount, the currency, and the token ID that I just created. And then I'm gonna use the URL for my endpoint hosted in the simulator and localhost. Here we go, here. And then let's try it out. Send, and I'm getting a proper response here. That means it's working. I'm gonna go ahead and deploy it in production. Now, while that is getting deployed, I'm gonna go ahead and code it in my client side, and that's gonna happen here. Here, I'm gonna send the token ID, which I get like this, to my server, along with the amount and the currency, and create that charge. And then I'm gonna take the URL that I get back, the redirection URL, and that's what I'm going to use to send the user for 3DS authentication. Okay, my URL is deployed. And here, wait a second, it should be total net amount. And here I'm gonna get my token, create a charge, get the URL from the charge, and then using this line, I'm gonna redirect the cardholder to that 3DS URL. So let's go ahead and try this out. There you go, it's redirecting. When I hit submit, it's gonna take me back to the result page. Cool. Now we just got to do the last step, which is in this page, instead of just displaying order number and then it's empty here, we need to use the charge ID that we get appended to this URL. Here, let me zoom in so you can see. So when you get redirected, Tap is gonna append this as a query param on your result page. So you need to get this from your client side, and I'll show you how to do that. Send it to your server again, and then your server will use one of the Tap Get APIs to get the final result for the payment, and then you can display that here on the page. So that's our next step, and that's what we're gonna do now. So first step, you need to get the query param, go to the result page. Here I have a liner for that, a one-liner for that, so I'm just gonna use that. Okay, let me show you what we get. So this is how we get the query param. And then when I take this, copy it, and then I'll use this API, get charge. It's the same, except you append the charge ID on the end of the URL, and then you do a get request instead of post. You send that, and it's gonna give you the final result for the payment, which in this case, it says here captured, and other details like approved, the card type, and so on. So this is how you confirm the payment final result. So we need to implement this API call in our server also. So let's go ahead and do that. And this is how you do it. You just gotta take this charge ID and append it at the end of this URL. Okay, let's go ahead and test this in the emulator as well, see if it works. Here you go, I'm gonna go ahead and test it here. Send. And it's working. We can use this in our client side right now after we deploy it to production. So let's go ahead and do that and code it in the meantime. You get your order ID from reference object, order or transaction. I'm just going to use order. Okay, now let's just wait for this URL to finish deploying, and then we're going to test end to end, and I'll show you how this thing works after we finish implementing it. There you go. Take that, put it here. We'll slap the tap ID right at the end of the URL. And when we refresh the page, looks like it's already working, but let's go ahead and do an end-to-end test to show you how it works. Now, you're gonna get this error when you try to compile in React. This happens if you refresh the page, all right? But if you just go to your code and just hit Command S or Control S, it's gonna compile just fine. So just keep that in mind. Now let's go ahead and test this. Grab the test card. Cool. And go to your payment page. Put this here, 0139. This should be 01 if you want to get a successful response. And this should be 100. Your name, pay. Now it's going to create the token, send that token to the server, create charge. Charge will return the URL. We get the URL and then we redirect to the URL. Here's the 3DS authentication simulator. We finish the authentication, and then after that's done, it's going to redirect to my result page, which I specified in my create charge API call. And then once you redirected the result page, your result page is going to send the tap ID that is appended at the end of this URL here. Let me show you this charge ID. It's going to send it to your server. Your server is going to use the get charge API call to get the final result, confirm it back to the client, and display the result here. And that's it. That's how you implement tap payments. Check out SDK. It's simple enough. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll link the documentation in the description box below. And if you like the video, hit like, subscribe. And if you want to get the full source code that we used in this video, you can do so by supporting the channel and the Patreon link below. You don't need the source code for this video. If you can just follow the video, you can implement it pretty easily. But that's it. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.